Hi, I'm Sue Mim from Heart Connection Dogs. Today I'd like to share with you a bit on trust. What does it mean to have a trusting relationship with our dogs, and how do we achieve that? In a trusting relationship, you feel safe, you feel loved, you feel understood, you feel appreciated, and you feel accepted for who you are. So, how does this trust come into play in our relationships with our dogs? We often hear that we need to build trust and that it's a foundation of a good relationship, that our dogs need to trust us as their guide and guardian. But I believe there are actually three pillars to trusting relationships with dogs. Firstly, do I trust my dog? Can I trust my dog to make good decisions that will keep himself, me, and everyone safe? Can I trust my dog to cooperate with me in day-to-day activities, and especially times when it's necessary for everyone's safety? Can I trust my dog to stay connected with me when we're out and about so that I can give him more freedom? Can I trust my dog to stay calm and balanced even in challenging situations? What about self-trust? Can I trust myself to make good choices on behalf of my dog? Can I trust myself to keep us both safe? And can I trust myself to stay calm, focused, and balanced in challenging situations? And last, but certainly not least, does my dog trust me? Does he trust me to keep him safe? Does he trust me to make good choices on his behalf? And does he trust me to stay calm and support him to be calm in challenging situations? So let's have a look at where you are in your relationship with your dog right now. Take a moment to consider these statements and write down which ones are applicable to you. A, I wish I could trust my dog to make better choices in some situations. B, I wish that my dog would trust me more. I do my best to keep him safe, but he doesn't seem to respond to my attempts to calm him or reassure him that he's safe. C, I wish I could trust myself to be more calm and grounded in challenging situations. I'm sure my own anxiety is not helping either of us. D, our relationship is awesome. We totally trust each other and we can handle whatever life throws at us. Well, for me, I think all four statements are true. Why? Because I believe trust is dynamic, it's interactive, and it's ongoing. And as we go through this presentation, I think you'll see this. One of the reasons is because relationships are complex. We each have our own challenges to deal with, and we're all at different stages on a path of learning and growing. We have good days and we have bad days. We need to see trust as an ongoing process, not as something that is earned, and then once we have it, that's that. Sometimes things flow smoothly, and other times we have stumbling blocks to overcome. We can view all of life's experiences as opportunities to grow trust if we know how. So how do you define trust? Let's explore what qualities you might identify in somebody that you really trust. Think of a partner, a spouse, a friend, someone you admire and respect. It could be a family member, a role model, someone who has positively influenced your life. Just think about it for a minute and see what qualities come to mind. Most of us think about the person's character traits. For instance, they are honest, they are consistent and reliable, authentic, they show integrity, they make us feel safe. And I'm sure you can think of some other characteristics here. But is it only the person's character that makes them trustworthy? If we really consider a trusting relationship, That someone is more than just honest and reliable. They're also someone who makes us feel unconditionally accepted for who we are. They make us feel heard and understood and allow us to express ourselves authentically. Let's take a deeper look. That trustworthy person has a level of confidence, which is what makes us feel safe. They have confidence in their own capabilities. They have knowledge and skills that allow them to make good decisions on their behalf and on behalf of others. They are self-aware and able to see situations clearly and objectively. They are socially competent and in control of their emotions. They are willing to enter into a partnership and cooperation in order to solve problems and find creative solutions. And they're able to clearly communicate their thoughts and feelings in a way that you understand. On the other side of the triangle, we have caring. This trustworthy person genuinely cares about you. They're empathetic to your circumstances and they seek to connect with you on a personal level. They allow you to feel safe and to feel heard so that you can openly share your experiences and you can celebrate in each other's successes and progress. Your relationship involves curiosity and discovery about each other, and you feel unconditionally accepted for who you are. That person is present with you during interactions, and they are willing to be there and hold space for you when you need it. And at times when things don't go as planned and there are challenges in the relationship, they are willing to forgive, or they show a willingness to repair what's been undone. So why is it important that our dogs trust us? To answer this, I invite you to step into your dog's paws for a moment and consider life from their point of view. You see, we can decide on which people we want to trust and form trusting relationships with. For the most part, we have choices around this. But from the day we invite our dogs into our lives, they are dependent on us and have little or no choice in most matters. We decide what they eat and when they eat. We decide what health care they receive. We decide what activities we want to do with them. We decide when and where they go for walks. And in some cases, we even decide where they should pee and poop and who they should play with. Now, imagine you didn't actually trust that person that dictated and designed so much of your life. Imagine if your days were filled with inconsistency, emotional drama, and stress. You received food that wasn't suitable for you, and you were doused with perfumed shampoos, chemical treatments, medicines, and vaccines that left you feeling nauseous, gave you a headache, or some other nasty side effect. I think you get the picture here. Surely, by becoming truly trustworthy guardians for them, we can offer our dogs a totally different life experience. This is why trust needs to start with us. Let's look at how we can become more trusting carers, guides, companions, and partners to our dogs, beginning with confidence. We need to be able to trust ourselves first. We need to have confidence in our own skills and abilities to make informed decisions on behalf of ourselves and our dogs. We need to have knowledge about who our dogs are as individuals, what their needs are, and how to meet these specific needs in ways that is right and comfortable for them. We need to be self-aware and self-confident to be able to support our dogs and help them to navigate our busy, stressful, and complex social lives. We need to be good role models and to be able to stay calm and confident in challenging situations. We need to have good communication skills so that we can truly understand each other and provide clear guidance for them. And we need to be their teacher, guide, and parent, providing a safe learning environment, supporting, encouraging, and allowing them to develop their own sense of self and reaching their own full potential, not one that we predefine. When we lack in areas of confidence, we tend to micromanage our dogs. In order to give us a sense of safety and control over the outcome of any situation, we feel the need to control our dog's every move. We think by training them to sit, stay, go to your place, come here, do this, do that, that we are teaching them to be responsible, but it's quite the opposite. We are actually disempowering our dogs. We are taking away even more freedom of choice and turning them into little robots. And I think most of us here would agree this is not what we want. Wouldn't we prefer for our dogs to make their own good choices without us having to control their every move? What about the caring aspects? Caring starts with being able to shift perspective and really put ourselves into our dog's paws. By exploring how they might perceive their world and considering the experiences and the influences that have occurred throughout their life, which may have now contributed to their unique emotional experience of the world. We need to be able to meet their needs on all levels, not just their physical, but also the emotional and spiritual needs. We should allow them to feel heard and understood, again, by putting ourselves into their paws and accepting how they feel in any given situation, regardless of whether it's in alignment of how we perceive it or consider the experience to be. For example, if your dog is anxious in a situation where we can see no danger, not just saying, oh, don't be silly, there's nothing to be afraid of. That's not listening. And that's not showing that you are hearing them or taking them seriously. We want to be able to enjoy sharing our experiences together, doing things we both love, celebrating our little wins together as we grow and develop our relationship, giving our dogs our full attention and presence each time we interact with them, and allowing a deep, meaningful heart connection to develop, one soul to another. And remember, the caring aspects are developed, built, and maintained on an ongoing basis in daily activities. It's the glue in the trust, and it's what fills our trust banks. If the caring pieces are lacking, we create disconnect and separateness between ourselves and our dogs. We forget the real why we have dogs in our lives, which for most of us is that beautiful heart connection with another being, one filled with unconditional love and acceptance that allows us to feel at peace and to express our inner light. And lastly, we consider the character aspects, which I believe come naturally if we've put our time and effort into cultivating the confidence and caring pieces. Being honest, not trying to trick, coerce, or distract our dogs into doing things that they don't want to. Openly communicating with them how we feel and what we need from them and why. Creating consistency through setting up habits and routines which provide our dogs with the structure and predictability they need to feel safe. Being reliable, following through on our actions and our promises. Being authentic by aligning our thoughts and actions. If we are telling our dogs everything is okay and inside we're feeling scared, then we are not aligned, and your dog will easily pick up on this discordance, which makes them feel even more insecure. Being intentional by knowing what you want and why in any situation. Is this really what you and your dog want? Does it benefit both of you in some way? And is it going to lead to growing your trust or eroding your trust? Demonstrating integrity by having the courage to speak your truth even when others don't agree, and by being a voice for your dog, being their advocate and making decisions in their best interests, even if that goes against what others or society expects. Making a commitment to yourself and to your dog and to your relationship with them, to continuously work at it, learning from the challenges, repairing your ruptures, and finding joy and gratitude in every minute you spend together. When we lack in character, we don't show up fully for our dogs. And when this happens, they will go about making their own choices in order to feel safe. And often, these are not choices which are the most appropriate or which make us feel comfortable. So, what about our dogs? If we want to trust our dogs more, don't they have to be trustworthy? And if so, how does the trust triangle apply to them? Well, this is again where I believe it's our responsibility to help our dogs to develop this, since their choices are so limited in how they learn about the world around them. We begin by allowing them more time, space, and choice. Time and space to learn about their environment in a safe way, allowing them to take in information and to process it in their way and at a pace that's comfortable for them. By offering them more choice in daily activities and involving them in choices like what food they might prefer, where they would like to walk, and what activities they would prefer to do. Another beautiful way of providing choice is through the botanical self-selection process called zoopharmacognosy, which allows our dogs to use their innate sense of knowing to select what botanical extracts, herbs, essential oils, and supplements their bodies need in order to be healthy and balanced. We can also provide activities and opportunities that grow their self-confidence, allow them to express their canine skills, develop their senses, and build a healthy mind and body. By providing opportunities for them to learn from good social role models, we allow them to develop good habits, self-awareness, and self-control. And by providing positive feedback and encouragement, we can guide them to make better choices. A dog who is self-confident and self-aware and has the time and space to develop their own self-governance and make good choices is able to demonstrate trustworthiness without constantly being told what to do. How do dogs build caring and character then? When we practice empathy and caring for our dogs, oxytocin is released into our bloodstream. And we know from many studies now that the same feel-good chemicals are released in our dogs' bodies when they are on the receiving end of this nurturing, caring, and connection. It's reciprocal. As social mammals, they too are hardwired for empathy and connection, just like us. A dog's character will blossom when we give them the guidance and support they need, and then step back and allow them to develop their own sense of self, knowing that they are intelligent, sentient beings who are on their own individual journey. What happens when things go wrong? We know life is not a bunch of roses. There is always an ebb and flow, and that there will always be waves to ride and challenges to face. Situations don't always go as planned. We make poor choices sometimes, and so do our dogs. However, it's how we respond to these poor choices that can either destroy trust or improve trust. It's when we fall into the blaming and the shaming and the cycle of negative thoughts and low vibration emotions, such as disappointment, frustration, and anger about these events, that can lead to further breakdowns in trust. If, however, we are open to accepting our imperfections, forgiving both ourselves and our dogs for the poor choices made, and then using these as opportunities to practice self-love, forgiveness, emotional awareness, unconditional love, and acceptance, then we can actually turn these experiences into trust-building ones. What are the best ways to repair ruptures? Firstly, take time out to cool off and check with your thoughts and emotions. Accept that you are both perfectly imperfect and are learning and growing together. Say sorry and I love you. Take a deeper look at what might be happening underneath. Is there stresses that have gone unnoticed? Find joy in the things that you love doing together, and be grateful for the things you love about your dog. So let's recap on some of the things that either erode trust versus build trust. Expectations can cause disappointment versus unconditional love and acceptance. Controlling versus support and guidance. Dictating versus cooperation and partnership. Coercing versus consent and cooperation. Knowing versus being curious and finding creative solutions. Criticism and labels versus knowledge and understanding. Lack of clarity versus clarity and remembering your why. Why do you have your dog in your life? Miss or lack of communication versus the ability to clearly understand and communicate with one another. Inconsistency versus habits and routines. Not meeting needs versus meeting the physical and emotional well-being for both ourselves and our dogs. As a final reminder, let's take a quick look again at the trust triangle. In fact, there's two. In which areas would you like to improve or get more guidance and help with? Which areas do you think might benefit from more of your time and attention in order to grow your relationship with yourself and your dog? What actions might you take that will lead you to becoming a more trustworthy guide, carer, and parent to your dog, so that they in turn can develop their own self-awareness and trustworthiness? I invite you to sit with this for a while, perhaps do some journaling around it, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks for listening, and I wish you a journey filled with discovery and delight as you learn, grow, and transform together with your dog.